Every once in a while, we discover a new technique that takes our gameplay to the next level. For some, it was wall jumping.
Something wrong with your head if you fight me.
For others, it was bunny hopping.
Hey, that's me!
Movement techniques that have now become part of our DNA that we can pull off effortlessly without even thinking about. But every now and again, even after all this, there comes a technique that allows us to push the envelope even further and even transcend the limits of movement itself. If you've seen the last movement guide, you'll already be familiar with this technique. I'm talking about none other than tap strafing. A technique that wait a second, didn't we already cover tap strafing? I'm pretty sure we covered tap strafing. Yes, monkey brain, I just said that. Now, like I said, most of you already know about tap strafing, but I can almost guarantee that most players aren't using it to its full potential. In this video, I'll attempt to show you ways in which you can incorporate tap strafing into your regular gameplay and how to use it as a tool to level up and make other techniques better. What's up my dudes, it's SuitMonkey here, back with episode 5 of the Level Up series. So let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. Now unfortunately, even though I try to keep my videos as universal as possible, this one is going to mainly focus on PC players who use mouse and keyboard. If you don't know what a tap strafe is in Apex, I'll link the episode above that covers the mechanics behind it and how to pull it off. Going forward, as far as tap strafing is concerned, I'm going to be using the scroll wheel instead of tapping forward. Now, doors and doorways are pretty much a staple in Apex, and probably one of the most used mechanical structures in the game, useful both during fights and big brain plays. Normally, when we're inside a building and we need to take height, what most tend to do is open the door, make a U-turn, then climb up. Some also climb the door, which is also efficient, but for single-story buildings, both these methods give your seen or unseen opponents more time to laser you while climbing. The faster and more efficient way to climb while exiting doorways or around corners is to tap strafe directly into the climb. We run toward the doorway, slide jump out of it, then when we're past the door frame, press the direction we want to turn while simultaneously turning our camera 180 degrees and doing a single continuous scroll that lasts as long as the turn. The movement is pretty quick and if timed correctly, allows you to break line of sight much quicker while leaving buildings and also allows you to take height much faster on your opponents during fights. A quick tip for pulling off the technique more consistently is to wait until you're fully clear of the door frame before you begin to tap strafe. This is because tap strafing also moves us sideways while in midair. Hence, if you start tap strafing too early, you'll hit the door frame and get stuck in the corner, essentially the opposite of what we want. After a while of doing this, you'll begin doing it naturally whenever you need to break line of sight or take height, ultimately making you a harder target to hit. In addition to this, something I alluded to in episode 4 is that instead of simply climbing, you can let go of all your inputs before you hit the surface and tap jump right as you make contact with the wall to perform a 180-degree wall jump. This technique can pretty much be used anywhere there's a corner and a wall surface, and is basically the equivalent of using a wall to jump boost. This is great for creating distance between yourself and an opponent by using corners and walls to your advantage, and it's surely not something players do often or expect. It's a bit more challenging to pull off, but it becomes a useful tool if you're on the run or need to cover a large distance faster than you normally could by running. This technique is going to depend on how good you are at pulling off 180-degree turns, then from there it's just a matter of timing your jump. Add a slide to the end and you can pretty much create distance rather quickly. Next, I want to mention something that I'm not sure many people have seen or thought about in Apex and was discovered through experimentation. Now, from the last episode, we know that tap strafing allows us to make instantaneous changes to our direction while more or less maintaining 100% of our momentum. We can make 90-degree turns in midair and pull off complete 180s without stopping. But something else we can do is combine the technique with sliding, which allows us to perform movements that look totally scuffed and probably shouldn't be possible. Now, I'm most definitely not the first person to do this, but since I don't know what it's called and haven't seen anyone mention it specifically, I'll call it a monkey slide. And once done correctly, gives you total freedom with your slide jumps. This move basically allows us to travel in an unexpected direction while still facing forward by utilizing the momentum shift offered by tap strafing. To perform the movement sideways, we run directly forward, slide jump in the air, tap strafe in the direction we want to travel, then once facing that direction, hold crouch and whip our camera back toward the direction we want to look. When you hit the ground, you'll slide so long as you continue to hold crouch. This is not only unexpected, but due to the rotation in midair, makes you a harder target to hit. You can use this as a way to stay facing a target at all times while sliding to cover, or if the conditions are correct, using it as a misdirection during close quarter fights since you can instantly switch direction in midair without ever touching the ground. Keep in mind, these techniques are totally not necessary to win a gunfight, but then again, neither is wall jumping. The more techniques you know, and the more you know what's possible, the more movement capability you have at your disposal, and not to mention it's pretty fun to pull off. Another way to use the monkey slide is to travel directly backward after going forward, or in other words, break the laws of physics. This is useful if you make a mistake and immediately need to backpedal while facing forward, or yet again to make yourself more difficult to hit while under fire. The concept is the same as before, where we slide jump forward, but while in midair, we perform a quick 180-degree tap strafe, then whip our camera to face forward while holding crouch so we slide when we hit the floor. This movement really demonstrates how tap strafing pretty much frees you from the constraints of momentum by literally allowing you to redirect it wherever you please. If you're in a hurry, not only is it a faster way to ascend and descend stairs, it's also a faster way to gain distance after turning corners and hence breaking line of sight. The feeling just takes a bit to get used to. Full 90-degree turns are even possible when going down steep hills, which gives us a way to translate our momentum into whatever direction we prefer or even stop us from falling into danger. Basically, anywhere you can air strafe, you can pretty much incorporate tap strafing. This is made even better by bunny hopping because we can basically change direction after every jump. All in all, if you like movement, you're using mouse and keyboard, and you want to level out your technique, tap strafing is a highly useful tool to learn, and I'm sure there are even more ways to use it that I didn't cover in this video. This was a shorter episode, but I wanted to do it to stress the importance of tap strafing and the possibilities and freedom it offers. And no worries, much more content is coming. This should finally cap off movement techniques for the Level Up series. Future vids will focus on other aspects of the game, like aim, strafing, settings, repositioning, etc. In case you missed it, the channel has an official Discord where we all chill, discuss Apex, a bunch of other topics, and play together. We compete in self-hosted events, and the member count is steadily growing. I'm pretty much always online, so be sure to check it out if you're interested. I'll see you in the next one. You guys take care, and SuitMonkey out. I'm gonna push her shortly after I heal. Cause she's kinda stuck, huh?
What the fuck did you just do to her?
I don't know.